Good afternoon, I'm Colette Linden.
And I'm Danny Dupuis. Welcome to the special report.
It's Friday afternoon.
We're a little excited.
I know. The Premier is set to speak today, but there's been a time change. She's going to be at 1:30 and he's going to be joined by the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Economic Development.
Oh, big talks today.
Yeah, that's at 1:30. Today, everyone, welcome to First Responder Day. Hashtag First Responder Day. We have some more information on that coming up, but first, let's talk about that amazing weather outside, please.
It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So currently, it's actually 15 degrees, and heading into the later afternoon today, around 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, it will be spiking up to 18. Tonight, we are going to see a low of 7. Moving into Saturday, unfortunately, it will be raining. There's going to be that chance of sun with a mix of sun and clouds. There's going to be a high of 12 and a low of 4. And then moving into Sunday, it does show a little bit of rain because there will be some, but not much. It will be a high of 8 and a low of -4. So unfortunately, we are getting back into those negative numbers, but hopefully throughout the rest of the week, it doesn't look too bad. I know I checked earlier, it was supposed to rain all week. Now it's not, so
good.
We're just kind of keep that in mind. And now we're going to throw it over to Chris for a little bit of his updates.
Thank you very much, Danny. Yes, we have at least some moderate good news coming out here in Ontario today for our numbers. Still locally, we're at 13 total positive cases, but 11 people have recovered, so we only have 2 positive cases in Algoma District right now. We're waiting for just under 400 cases for the results to come back. Now, Ontario, for 6 of the last 7 days, we've had less than 500 new cases reported per day. And today was 421 new cases, which is way down from yesterday. And we only had 39 deaths today, which is down substantially from the last few days. This brings our total to 1,100 deaths in Ontario of COVID-19. Across Canada, we have about 53,000 total cases, and we are approaching around 3,200 deaths across the entire country. Now, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Did you know that 1 in 3 people are affected by fire in their lifetime? Or that 1 in 3 fire deaths happen in homes with no working smoke alarms? You may have just seconds to safely escape a fire in your home. That's why early detection of fire is absolutely vital. Only working smoke alarms provide those precious seconds you and your family need to safely escape. Install smoke alarms on every story and outside all sleeping areas of your home. For added protection, install a smoke alarm in every bedroom. Test smoke alarms monthly by pressing the test button. If the alarm doesn't sound, install a new battery. Replace alarm batteries at least once a year and whenever the low battery warning chirps. And if the alarm still doesn't sound, replace the alarm with a new one. Smoke alarms have an expiry date. Remember to check the back of the smoke alarm for dates of manufacture.
Replacement is within the time frame on the manufacturer's instructions. In most cases, 7 to 10 years. Always replace expired alarms.
Remember, it's the law in Ontario to have working smoke alarms on every story of your home and outside all sleeping areas.
Failure to comply with the Ontario Fire Code requirements could result in a fine or even jail time.
So protect yourself and your loved ones by ensuring that all your smoke alarms are functional and up to code. For more fire safety information, please visit www.saultmarie.ca/firesafe.
Welcome back. Happy First Responder Day. We are happy to have Casey Security as our sponsor, and we are going to throw back to Chris for his interview today.
Thank you very much, Colette.
Well, I guess we're going to throw back to Chris.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Colette.
There he is.
I'm here. I was just taking a short break there. Tonight on my show at 7 p.m., I interview Juno Award-nominated guitarist, producer, and songwriter Jeff Gunn. He and I had an interview the other day, and you'll see part 1 this evening. And here's my question to him about what it's like to be a musician in COVID-19, where you go from traveling the world to literally stuck in your apartment in Toronto. So how has your life changed as a musician since COVID-19 has started?
Well, basically, what I've had to do, and a lot of musicians, is really turn our attention to online options and online presence, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And what that's meant for me is giving online guitar lessons, which is something I haven't done for quite some time. So it was kind of really gearing up on that side, getting into the habit of posting the music that you're making a couple of times a week. I schedule it, so I put something out every Wednesday and Saturday, and then try to draw the people also to your website and to your YouTube channel, and also any fan page you might have, and engage the audience a lot more. So I think a lot of musicians have really turned up their online presence, whereas before I did a lot of live shows and things like that. So it's been exciting actually in one way, because we've really got to pay attention to that aspect of our music presence, I guess. Mm-hmm.
And that was Jeff Gunn, a Juno Award-nominated guitarist, songwriter, and producer. He's worked with a lot of the biggest names in the industry, including people like Nelly Furtado, Peter Gabriel, and others. So watch it tonight at 7 p.m. for part 1 of that interview. I'll also have more tonight on COVID-19 at 7 p.m. as well. Back to the desk.
He had some kick-ass hair.
I know, right? The rock star hair.
I'm looking forward to listening to him sing. Sorry about that mix-up there when we threw to Chris, and you're still seeing me. I have not transformed into Chris.
Nope.
And Chris will be back later on with some more updates and a round table today. And we're going to talk about what other provinces are doing to open up, or maybe give our opinions. It's going to be our opinion-based round table, as well as talk a little bit about what's going on in the world as far as just like I said,
what's going on?
What's going on? We're going to update everybody. But first of all, we want to show you some pictures of local first responders in honor of First Responder Day. So today we honor the day, and there's our fire services.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, they're great. We're just going to give this a minute to roll through.
Our paramedics, and they're wearing red actually for Wear Red Friday of last week to honor Nova Scotia victims.
Yep.
Oh. Top part got cut off, unfortunately, but here are some of our social service workers.
Great. That's amazing. Well, today it is the first day of May, and we are celebrating our first responders and our police officers, a day for everyone to take a minute and think about the many first responders that work and volunteer to keep our community safe day and night. And just want to thank them all. And let's remember the caretakers as well. I know deservedly so. We mentioned our healthcare workers and our those who work in the retirement homes, but there's a lot of different. There's our those who pick up the garbage. There's those who put the garbage away, take it. Let's just remember everyone today. And actually at 2:30, we're going to do just that at Vendel Manor.
Yes.
Yes. So fire services, the paramedics, GFL, I believe,
GFL.
and the Sioux Search and Rescue are all going to be doing a convoy parade. We won't call it a parade in its practical or traditional sense, but they are going to have a convoy of vehicles at Vendel at 2:30. Just to honor the healthcare workers, even though those who are participating to say thank you are indeed first responders as well. So great job, and we will have some footage on that hopefully for you on Monday or over the weekend.
Yeah, they did say when speaking with them too earlier, right now they're not, they won't be doing every nursing home, as you have seen. Some people are going all over the place. Mm-hmm. They're just going to stick with Vandale first, and then up and coming next week, they're going to make their way, which is pretty phenomenal.
That's amazing. So what do you have?
Ooh, so what did I have? I had a really great interview today with Jenna and Natasha from Arch, and they've just completely done a full remodel of everything. So their supportive grief programs that they do offer, it's all gone virtual. And when speaking with them, I kind of asked, how is that nature? How's virtual been? And they said it's been phenomenal. Yeah, so they're getting lots of feedback. They also wanted to say and to thank their volunteers who have taken the time. Unfortunately, the volunteers can't go into the facility, but they've been helping out outside the grounds, cleaning, picking up garbage, doing some gardening. You know what? The feedback from Arch right now has been phenomenal. And in keeping up with Giving Tuesday, as we mentioned next week.
May the 5th. Yes. Cinco de Mayo.
Ooh. They also have started their flower sales that you can purchase online as well. And even if you go onto their Facebook page, they have this cute little cozy corner by Jen, and she's keeping everyone engaged. So
That's great.
Love
That's
it.
great. So we have a Shine a Light on Doctor Day today too. So at 9 o'clock, and this came from the OMA, which is the Ontario Medical Association. They have deemed today Shine a Light Day for doctors. So at 9 p.m., they're asking you to step outside, use your flashlight on your cell phone. I guess you can just use a flashlight. It doesn't really have to be a cell phone, but they did specifically say
Get a lighter
cell phone.
out
But
there.
just shine a light, whether it's a cell phone or a flashlight at 9 p.m. today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the Mill Market. Let's talk about that for a second. We just found out today that that's open. We're not too sure how that's going, how that's being
Is it
arranged, how they're
outside,
practicing their procedures there. I don't know. So it is open tomorrow.
I mean, I kind of want to go tomorrow and like check it out a little bit to see, but you know what? We'll see. And it's great to hear that the Mill Market is open and they're doing that. It is unfortunate to hear. Today we got notice that Ontario Finished Rest Home has announced that they have postponed their Harvest Fest event and as well are postponing their Harvest Fest draw. Very sad to hear that, and hopefully, you know, it's not postponed indefinitely and maybe you guys can pick it up later on, because that was one of their major fundraisers for the home. But again, everyone's pushing right now for those online donations, and you still can.
Giving Tuesday. So I just wanted to call out the Sioux Thunderbirds. They announced their team award winners yesterday. So I just thought we would highlight some names. They've popped up in a few different awards. We've got Player of the Year and Players Player of the Year. So he won 2 awards, and that was Nolan Ford. What do we have here? The Michael Doan Memorial Award went to Cooper Smile. Defenseman of the Year went to Warner Young. Ryan Clemens received this most sportsmanlike, which is something probably Dante will never win, but I hope he does.
Way to do a shout out there.
Way to go. Ted Brooks Award, Curtis Rogers. Now, this is one I wanted to highlight the most. Jake Kovacs, he won the Rookie of the Year, the Highest Scorer Award, the Hardest Working Player, and the MVP.
Wow, way to
go,
Good
Jake
job.
Kovacs. You are a rookie on the team, and you just cleaned up with 4 awards.
Somebody's an overachiever.
Somebody's an overachiever, says the voice in the corner.
I'm curious to see how many points he had for the game.
Yeah, well, I'm
That's
sure if I
awesome.
could continue reading on, and when we move to the next section, I'll have that information for you. Wait a minute, what about mass celebrations over the weekend? You wanted to talk about that.
I did. So last night, I was out having a little bit of a walk, and I could hear what seemed to be a church service going on, and I was very curious to see what was going on. Over at Our Lady of Good Counsel Catholic Church, they did have, I would believe to have been a service last night in their parking lot. So they had a speaker, and they actually had someone conducting the service from their car, and everyone else was in their car with the windows rolled down. It was really beautiful. They even did a kind of acknowledge Fort McMurray right now and how they're going through flooding. So it was really nice to see. It was really interesting to see, and there was more people walking, and they were just sitting there listening to it. It's really
that's
nice.
That's nice, and I know there's still some online services for your churches that you're following. So we are going to be back after this commercial break. We once again like to thank Casey Security for sponsoring us, and we will be back in a couple minutes when we're going to talk about jobs you don't want to have at the moment or following COVID-19, and there was a very big announcement of quite a high position that we want to talk about soon. So we'll be right back after this commercial break.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern People's Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
Welcome back. Just to update you, Jay Kovacs got 27 goals, 58 points in 55 games. There you go.
Wow.
Over to Chris.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say hi to my mom who made a comment about
Hi,
Chris's
Mom.
elderly mom watching, so thank you for enjoying the show. And apparently Doug Ford has just come up to the podium. Is that what I'm hearing in my ear? Yep, Doug Ford is there, so we're going to cut over to Doug Ford.
Thank you to everyone out there, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's because of you. Thanks to each of you, we've made tremendous, tremendous progress. We're flattening the curve. We're heading in the right direction. And as we adjust to the new normal, as we continue to look out for ourselves and our loved ones, as we take the necessary precautions, we have reason to be optimistic. As the trends continue downwards, as we continue seeing a reduction in community spread, we're getting closer and closer to opening things back up. And today, we have the groundwork in place. We have the critical pieces we need in place. We have a framework and targets. We have clear, sector-specific health guidelines. And with these critical pillars in place, we are in the position now to look at what we can start to open up safely. And based on our framework, based on our robust health and safety guidelines, it is clear that right now there are certain businesses and workplaces that can operate safely. That means they can physically distance their staff and customers. They can put in physical barriers. They can provide contact-free services, or they work outside and are isolated. We have consulted with our Chief Medical Officer, and today we're able to move forward with opening a small list of very specific businesses. Many of these are seasonal businesses that we're confident can operate safely as long as they comply with public health measures and workplace guidelines. As of Monday, May the 4th, the following businesses will be able to operate: lawn care and landscaping services, garden centers and nurseries with curbside pickup, community gardens, no-touch car washes, auto dealers by appointment only, site preparations for construction projects, and certain essential construction projects such as broadband, telecommunications, municipal projects, and schools. Marinas and golf courses will also be allowed to start getting ready for the season, but not open just yet. Folks, our hard work and perseverance, our patience is paying off. We're at an important starting point, and we should take today as a sign. Today's news shows us that if we stay the course, if we stay vigilant and take the measured approach, we can keep moving in the right direction. We can keep moving ahead with the opening of the economy. We will still have a long way to go. But today is a glimmer of hope, and it couldn't come soon enough. I'm very pleased that we're here today, and I know we all are. As I said on Monday, we are at the start of a conversation, and every step forward is an important step. Every step forward is a step in the right direction. And in the coming days and weeks, I'm hopeful that we'll meet more of our health targets. I'm very optimistic that in the near future, we'll be able to announce that additional businesses will be able to open up safely. People are eager to get back to work. I know that. And right now, our future is in our hands. It's up to us as a province. And when the time comes, we will regain what we have lost and more. My friends, we will get there. We will get there together, and we will get through this. Thank you so much, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll pass it over to Minister Fedeli.
Thank you, Premier, and good afternoon. When this emergency situation began, the business community was ready and willing to step up to the plate. Whether donating personal protective equipment, turning their production to the manufacturing of critical supplies for the front line, or submitting proposals through our web portal, Ontario Together. It has been an incredible demonstration of the Ontario spirit. Yesterday, our government released workplace safety guidelines to help employers continue to protect their staff and customers. These guidelines cover a wide range of Ontario's economy and include measures such as maintaining proper physical distancing and the cleaning and sanitization of equipment. These ensure clear guidance and appropriate measures are in place so that workplaces can safely open. And, as the Premier noted, today we are announcing that certain operations can begin starting May 4th. And as the Premier said, these include lawn care and landscaping services, garden centres and nurseries for curbside pickup and delivery, marinas and golf courses only to begin their preparations for their seasonal operations, automatic and self-serve car washes, car dealerships by appointment only, construction that supports improved delivery of goods and services and digital infrastructure, schools, post-secondary and municipal construction projects, including transit, site preparation, servicing, and excavation for residential, institutional, commercial, and industrial developments. These changes are in line with health guidance and physical distancing and reflect changes to the seasonality. We are moving responsibly and cautiously because we don't want to jeopardize the progress we've made over the last few weeks. The next challenge for our business community is clear: to make the necessary adjustments to their operations, work with their employees and their customers, and put these guidelines into action so we can protect the health and safety of the people of Ontario. Easing the unprecedented restrictions our government put in place to save lives and stop the spread will be a complicated and difficult task. But Ontario's business community has risen to every challenge presented by COVID-19. And we have every confidence that they will, in the true Ontario spirit and form, rise to the challenge of keeping workplaces safe. Because getting it right will ensure Ontario returns to prosperity in the safest way possible. And now I'll pass it over to Minister Phillips.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Minister Fedeli. I'd like to begin, just first of all today, by congratulating Tim Macklem, who was appointed the new Governor of the Bank of Canada today. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Governor Steve Poloz for his 7 years of dedication, particularly during these challenging times. Steve's from the Durham region, and as the MPP for Ajax, we always like to see a local boy make good. So it was great. Steve joined us this morning to talk to the Ontario Jobs and Recovery Committee, and we appreciate his insights, and it's just an example of the kind of expert advice we're getting in the health area, in the science area, and of course in the economic area. We do wish Tip well in his new role. By following our public health experts' advice, we've made progress in our
And that was the Premier's press conference today. Also, you saw Vic Fedeli speaking there, and also Rod Phillips as well. Almost said different Phillips, Phil Collins. Totally wrong person.
Because you were doing Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of music, if you want to see music tonight, 7 p.m., I'll be interviewing Jeff Gunn, Juno Award nominated guitarist, producer, and songwriter. But first, as you'll see coming up on your screen now, Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto has been looking at different ways to get around the N95 mask shortage. And one of the things that they've looked at, and they're testing, is an actual snorkel mask with a special 3D printed, they actually 3D print this filter that they put onto the snorkel mask, and it covers the doctors and nurses' full faces as opposed to an N95 mask that only covers part of the face. And they're looking at using these because they can actually clean the entire thing except for the filter. The filter, they have to keep printing those filters up, but as far as the rest of the face mask goes and all the different the ways that it can be adjusted on your face, all the bands, everything, it's all cleanable, and they can clean each one over and over again. And Canadian Tire has helped donate some of these masks, and Sunnybrook has 1,100 of these masks that they're now testing with some doctors and nurses to make sure that it's they can still do their jobs effectively. But this is actually a sign of a little glimmer of hope that they're actually going to be able to use these masks instead of us having to wait for N95 masks to be printed and created and then shipped to us. They can just keep reusing this. And because the filter is made with a 3D printer that Sunnybrook actually has, they don't require any supplies from the outside world other than the material for that little filter. Now on that mask at the very top, it's a small little filter because the actual where the air comes in is through the top of the mask. And so there's a very small little bit that the actual filter needs to be made for, and the entire rest of the mask can be cleaned. And who knows, this could be something that could be used across not just Toronto, but also the province, and possibly across Canada as well, which will help deal with all the sort of the personal protective equipment that is in very short supply, because the entire planet is trying to buy PPE right now. So we're going to see those. Hopefully they're going to start using those within the next week once they finish doing their trials and make sure that they're safe and effective and so on before they switch over. But this could be a very promising development, not only for Sunnybrook, but also for the rest of Ontario and possibly the rest of Canada as well. I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Chris. Super cool stuff. Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve mask.
I want to go swimming now.
Yeah, really. So we wanted to talk a little bit. We're running out of time because the Premier just jumped in there.
Yeah,
so we've got two. Yeah, why not?
Where's 2-Minute Tim? Like normally there's a guy that comes up 2 minutes beforehand and tells us, oh, the Premier's coming on. Then I hear in my ear, the Premier's talking. I'm sorry, what?
Chris, throw. But he did a great job throwing.
Here we go.
Okay, so we wanted to talk about possibly the worst job you can have right now. The new governor of the Bank of Canada.
And they did mention it too.
Why would you want that position? Anyways, you heard Minister Bill Munro congratulate, what's his name? Sorry, Tiff Macklem on the position, who is actually currently the Dean of Business, School of Business at the U of T at the moment. So, way to go. Another job that we wouldn't want is the 2-Minute Tommy guy who didn't do his job today. So we're not happy with you, 2-Minute Tommy. He had one job and he did not fulfill that. We were going to talk about what's going on in Ontario or Canada with respect to other provinces opening up a little bit too soon. We're going to save that conversation for you until Monday. So now we get to go home for the weekend. Thanks to Casey's Security. Go enjoy the day, guys. Thanks to Casey Security for your sponsorship. And email us at specialreportssm@gmail.com. Hashtag in this together SSM. Please join us at the 5 o'clock newscast to see Stork and Bundle, and join Chris at 7 p.m. while he'll continue the interview with Jeff Gunn. Have an amazing weekend, everyone.
See you, everyone. See you Monday.